We are live.
What's going on, everyone? Hey, it's a big day for America. And we have found out that Democrats are evil. They hate America and they hate you. They hate you. They only care about power and special interests. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt that Democrats hate America. Seeing them grill two fellow Democrats is astounding.
I'm kind of like lost for words. Not only that, but like how stupid the line of questioning was. Like the number of stupid shit that got today. Everything from science is settled and don't question it, but question it, to onesies, to like it's just the last 2 days have been like, this is why aliens, like if there's aliens, this is why they don't actually announce themselves, because we're like the soap opera they watch, the really bad soap opera that they watch.
You know what? I think you brought that up. This is my favorite exchange of the day. Science is wrong, but questioning science is wrong. So don't question science, because then they won't trust science. It's like, what did this bitch just say? Like, what is this stupid white liberal woman? What the fuck did she just say?
I have no idea.
Like, look at this. Okay. There's your fucking liberal. Just fucking hideous, dead in the eyes, that stupid fucking haircut. There's a Democrat woman. Fellas, this is not the time when we can have intermixing of relationships. No, that doesn't mean black and white. That means Republican and Democrat. Do not marry a liberal white woman. Do not do it. Do not marry a liberal black woman, but especially liberal white women. Do not marry them. Don't marry them. Don't associate with, dude. Alan, here's what I did today. I was on Facebook. Some bitches from high school were like, Trump's evil. I'm like, unfriend. I wasn't even going to, I'm not getting involved. I'm not going to be like, actually, I kind of like the guy. I know I'm not going to have anything in common with them anymore. I'm like, right. I haven't seen this bitch in 25 years. Done. Bye. Told my wife, yeah, remember that girl? He's like, yeah, I remember. I'm like, unfriend that bitch. She's crazy. I'm like, there's no point in having that toxicity in your life. I don't want to know these people. I don't want to deal with these people. These are not good people. Anyone who backs what the Democrats are doing now is either retarded or evil. Yeah. There's no in between.
This woman's exchange, and she's got to be on SSRIs. Like, look at her. Like,
look at those eyes. You can tell by the eyes, man. The eyes are just, they tell everything.
It's either SSRIs or demonic possession.
I'm going with Roddy Piper's They Live. I'm going with alien invasion of her body. An alien took over her body.
Yeah.
But why do they all look like that?
I don't know.
And watch, we'll see Amy Klobuchar later, and she has that same fucking look. Yeah. Anyway.
Because sometimes science is wrong.
Okay. Remember that. Sometimes science is wrong. She is admitting that sometimes science is wrong. So that means we should always question science, right?
We make progress.
We make progress. We're all about progress. I like progress.
So far.
I agree 100%.
Right.
We build on the work.
Yes. It's just like weight training, right? Progressive overload is how you build muscle. If you're trying to jump higher, you see, you jump really high, Alan. You set the plyo box a little bit higher, maybe a couple inches higher every time, 18 inches, 20 inches. Next thing you know, you're jumping 36, right?
Yeah.
And we become more successful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck, preach, lady, preach. I might start liking white liberal women.
And when you continue to sow doubt about settled science.
Wait a second. But I thought science isn't settled. Sometimes it's wrong. And that's the reason why they perform studies multiple times. But anyway, go on. Go on, Senator Hassan.
It makes it impossible for us to move forward.
Okay. Hold on. Now, I'm not, guys, I mean, you know by now, I'm not very smart. Like, I'm a meathead. I probably have CTE from football and boxing. I understand I'm not the man to trust with anything because I'm borderline retarded from the head trauma I've taken and the steroids and everything, right? But follow me.
Steroids,
Steroids and CTE do not mix. Yeah. Actually, they mix quite well. It's quite complementary. Yeah. So the science is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And we need to progress. So we do that by not questioning the wrong science. That's what she said.
Right. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly
sounds fair and rational.
Yeah, totally logical. It's like these not only do these people run our government, but supposedly they were elected to run our government. You know, like that's fucking crazy. You know, and the news reporting on it. Here's how I'm going to give you. Here's how you know the news is full of shit. This is why you can't believe anything that the news is saying. Like right here, this shows you that the news does not have the best interest of the people in mind. This shows you that the news is full of shit. You can't trust them at all because this was from the New York Post today, and that's bullshit.
Okay,
That's bullshit.
I'm offended.
That's bullshit.
Oh, first of all, those are lovely breasts. Second of all,
Bullshit.
like, big boobs are over.
Never.
Can we scroll through that? I want like.
Never.
I do think implants are going by the wayside because breast implant illness is a real thing.
Yes.
Right. Oh, by the way, the breast implants, FDA approved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Safe in effect. So, but no, that means that no, breast implants aren't dangerous. By us saying they're dangerous, we're questioning the science, which leads to a lack of progress and success. Am I doing this right?
I think so. I think that's amazing.
Women should be willing to sacrifice their lives to give us big breasts.
Of course, because that's what the FDA chooses. So much shit is approved by the FDA that it's like, wow, oh shit, I wanted to play that for you today. Give me a second.
Oh shit, we got something?
Yeah, this is from, and we're allowed to play this because it's on YouTube. So give me a second.
Oh,
Continue.
So if we're playing it from YouTube, does that mean that YouTube's okay with it?
YouTube is okay with this. It is okay.
Now that we're not affiliated with the WHO as a country, can we shit on them, or do we have to keep saying the sarcastic bullshit? Because I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for them to release the terms of service and the partnership agreement, because I mean, it's like science. We can't question YouTube. Can't question. They're always right. And up until they change that, the WHO and CDC is just like science. They're always right.
Yeah, always.
But if they're not right, we shouldn't question it, because that prevents progress and success. As Senator Hassan has informed us, that questioning science that can be wrong is antithetical to success and progress.
Yes.
Oh shit, you sent me this. I watched this shit, man. Holy motherfuck.
So everybody, just so you know, this is on the Food and Drug Administration's YouTube page. This is from 2021, September, I think.
There? It must be a Trump dude. Trump dude must have done this.
It's their meeting notes. Like, this is an excerpt. Like, this is on my channel, but this is an excerpt from their meeting notes. It is on the FDA website in 2021. So Trump couldn't even have done it because he was already out of office. But they have to do all of their meeting notes. They have to be, it's part of their agreement, right? But everybody listen to this. And then you should be asking yourself the question, what the fuck is in my arm? So everybody listen.
Only the VAERS numbers are statistically significant, but the other numbers are troubling. Even if the vaccines had 100% protection, it still means we killed 2 people to save 1 life. 4 experts did analyses using completely different non-US data sources, and all of them came up with approximately the same number of excess vaccine-related deaths, about 411 deaths per million doses. That translates into 150,000 people have died. Next slide would be slide number 11, the nursing home. Now, the real numbers confirm that we kill more than we save, and I would love everyone to look at the Israel Ministry of Health data on the 90-plus-year-olds, where we went from a 94.4% vaccinated group to 82.9% vaccinated in the last 4 months. In the most optimistic scenario, it means that 50% of the vaccinated people died and 0% of unvaccinated people died. Unless you can explain that to the American public, you cannot approve the boosters. Slide number 16, please, myocarditis. The paper just posted yesterday on medRxiv entitled mRNA COVID-19 Vaccination and Development of CMR Confirmed Myopericarditis shows that the myopericarditis risk was 1 in 1,000. And that's an overall age range from 18 to 65, mean age of 33. It is not inconsistent with what the VAERS shows. Next slide would be slide number 18, gaming of the trial. It's pretty clear that the Pfizer trial results were gamed. It's statistically impossible for protocol violations to be 5 times higher in the treatment group. Why hasn't this been investigated?
So I don't even think people realize that the errors were 5 times higher on the studies for the trial for the jab. You know, like, but it's on, dude. That's on the FDA website. That's on the FDA YouTube page. Like, it's on there.
So essentially, again, this is the data that they're talking about, which is wrong because the data is questioning the data, which is wrong sometimes, but not all the time. So by questioning the data, I would be impeding progress and success.
Yes,
but what this incorrect interpretation of the data, am I doing this right? What it's, exactly, I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get banned again. What it says is that, now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a question, not a statement, and I'm not a doctor. So for every one person they saved, 2 people died.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not good at math, but it causes 2 times more deaths than people's whose lives they save.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
So with what this incorrect information is falsely insinuating is that the vaccine will potentially and falsely kill more people than it saves.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like a positive outcome.
No.
Is it really FDA approved?
It doesn't sound like it's, meant for, like, to help. It sounds like it's meant to, if anything, just produce money. But besides that,
well, and depopulation. Holy shit, 2 to 1. I mean, that is nuts. The craziest thing was the nursing home data, where a ton of people died and the people who weren't vaccinated lived. That was the fascinating one. Like, these are old folks, man. Like, these are geriatric patients. These are people on their last phase of life who they're already, like, in a very vulnerable state to not live. And you're essentially just, with this vaccine, according to this false data that I do not support,
helping them over, like just helping them over the threshold.
Just kicking grandma over the cliff, man. Just taking her down.
Grandma over the cliff.
I hate that bitch anyway. Let her go.
Fucking grandma killers. Jesus. So,
I mean,
real quick, just in case anybody is doubting us, this is the FDA YouTube page, and this is the fucking thing it came from right here.
I'm perplexed. Okay, hold on. Hear me out. So I'm not allowed to disagree with the FDA, right? On YouTube.
Right.
So if I agree with what they're saying, so if I say right now that that the FDA is wrong, I'm not saying this at all, YouTube.
Right.
And vaccine-induced herd immunity is possible. Will I get banned for not agreeing with the FDA saying that vaccine-induced herd immunity is not possible? Follow me here, because this is antithetical to what we got banned for when we questioned the FDA, the CDC, and the WHO before. So being that it's the complete opposite position that we got banned for before, I just want to know YouTube policies, like, I want to know where I need to go, because if I agree with this, I used to get banned, but now if I disagree with it, see, here's the problem. Here's what I'm trying to point out, guys. When you start making arbitrary rules on organizations that get things wrong and you start censoring free speech, this is what happens, because science is malleable. Science evolves. I always use this example. If we were following the science, if we trusted the science, we'd still be giving people frontal lobotomies for every mental condition. Science evolves, and thank God it does. Who the fuck wants to have a wand in their head? They literally would just take a stick. They would take a stick. I'm going to use a hydroglyph stick pack. They would, like, ram it in your head and just wiggle it around aimlessly and just fucking wipe out your frontal lobe. That was the science. That was literally what the science said. And thank God someone questioned it. It was like, hey, hold on.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not such a good idea.
It's not like they don't seem to be doing too well after we, like fucking put a stick in their skull and poke around a little bit. They don't seem to like function super great afterwards, right?
Well, no, but they didn't have mental problems. They were just vegetables. I mean, the frontal lobe is very important in learning.
Absolutely. So I wanted to show one more thing here real quick, just because.
Oh my.
And this is a different story. This is. I'm moving on very quickly. I'm just going through stuff, but this is one of my favorites. If I would ever get a chance to be on any news show, and I mean anyone, I would want it to be Megyn Kelly's, and here's why. Just watch her face. It's hilarious.
Oh.
Are you supportive of this?
I've had nothing to do with
Are you
leadership.
supportive of these onesies?
I'm supportive of vaccine.
Are you supportive of these?
Megyn Kelly is all of us.
Militantly anti-vaccine.
I mean,
are you supportive of this?
I've had nothing to do with leadership.
Bro, you got laughed at in Congress, by the entire audience, dude.
Well, Bernie got fucking bodied today, homie. Like, it wasn't a good day for this commie bastard who, by the way, let me show you that this is like, he had our boy had this shit.
I'm going to make
prepared. He had this. RFK was ready for this. He had the stats. He had the receipts. He was ready for Bernie Sanders. He was ready, dude. He did some pregame.
America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? That's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies; it's in Congress.
He's just calling them out.
Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh,
so this fucking giant scrotum tries to fucking talk over him so he couldn't get the word out. Because, dude, Bernie, the scam is over. We know you're a corrupt piece of shit who enriches yourself, just like socialism. That's what socialism does. The people in power keep gaining money and power. And in that, they push everyone down because they convince people that that's what's best for the greater good. Bernie Sanders is the biggest scumbag, and this is saying a lot, in government. The guy didn't have a job till 40 years old. And even then, it wasn't like a fucking job. Like, the guy is a career fucking parasite. The fact that Bernie has lived this long shows that we have a very forgiving God. Because Bernie, if evil people died first, Bernie would have died at 5. This fucking piece of shit. But the thing is, a lot of people, even Tim Pool voted for him. Like, he was a Bernie bro. Like Joe Rogan, he scammed so many smart people. That's how good he is. That he's a psychopath. He is a sociopath. He is just all the paths combined.
All the paths.
No,
protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would no.
Oh, he's trying to talk. I thought that would come up. No, you didn't. You did not.
I
Listen
ran
to
for
his
president
tone.
like you.
Dude,
I got
listen to his
millions
tone.
and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel.
Yes, they did, Bernie. You lying.
They still think that they are being they still think people believe them.
They still think we don't have the fucking internet.
Yeah, they think people believe their asses.
Well, this motherfucker was around during the fucking Revolutionary War, so who the fuck knows?
Money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
Because I had
receiver of
small
pharmaceutical money.
contributions from workers all over this country. Workers,
You were the
that's
single-
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie,
tax.
you were the single largest acceptor of
workers-
pharmaceutical.
Not workers, not necessarily executive management, middle management. They're still making $500K a year, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the person fucking stuffing boxes and fucking shipping and receiving isn't gonna add up to fucking $1.5 million. You lying fucking sack of cunt. You fucking piece of shit. You fucking and fucking shave your head with that fucking bald shit.
So
I fucking hate when people do that. Fuck, just
agree.
shave it.
I do, man. I do. Calm down. But breathe. But I also say this, as somebody that worked in healthcare, you are very incentivized by corporate to donate to certain parties. Very incentivized. Like they will be like, so they'll send you the link. Here's where you can donate to this candidate, because they want you as a manager, as an executive, to donate as much as you can to help keep their businesses going. And if you don't, they kind of fucking, if you give pushback on it, they kind of like, they kind of like, it can affect you in the future. So they definitely incentivize the CEOs, the vice presidents, the regional directors, all those people. They definitely incentivize you to donate.
And they're making tons of cash.
Dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but
Fuck you and your gavel.
you have not answered. Last question. You have.
What a piece of shit.
Yeah, he still, like I said, he still thinks that like they have the ear of the people, you know?
Dude, everybody sees through Bernie now. I mean, everybody does. It's just, he is, I can't believe. So I saw it at the beginning. I could probably pull a Facebook post about how much of a piece of shit before I had Twitter that Bernie Sanders is. I mean, he is the worst of the worst. He is just an absolute scamming scumbag.
Yeah.
He is so fucking bad. Just so bad. I can't even quantify how bad it is. But what's crazy is the Tulsi thing, man, that's also getting to me, because she's literally an active military member, and they're accusing her of being a Russian fucking agent.
Did you see this shit? First of all, Tulsi's looking like a fucking X-Man, like with the fucking, like she looks like Rogue or something like that, like from the X-Men. She's looking like a cross between Professor X and Rogue or something like that. But this is savage. This is wild.
Senator, as someone who enlisted in the military specifically because of Al-Qaeda's terrorist attack on 9/11 and committing myself and my life to doing what I could to defeat these terrorists, it was shocking and a betrayal to me and every person who was killed on 9/11, their families and my brothers and sisters in uniform. When, as a member of Congress, I learned about President Obama's dual programs that he had begun really to overthrow the regime of Syria, and being willing to, through the CIA's
They're just saying it openly now.
Timber Sycamore program that has now been made public, of working with and arming and equipping Al-Qaeda in an effort to overthrow that regime, starting yet another regime change war in the Middle East. DOD train and equip program, again, begun under President Obama, is widely been known, looked at, and studied, that ultimately resulted in over $500 million being used to train who they called moderate rebels, but were actually fighters working with and aligned with Al-Qaeda's affiliate on the ground in Syria, all to move forward with their regime change and not acknowledging what was obvious at the time and what has unfortunately borne true, which was that a regime change war in Syria, much like the regime change wars in Iraq, the toppling of Gaddafi and Mubarak, while these are all dictators, would likely result in the rise of Islamist extremists like Al-Qaeda taking power. I shed no tears for the fall of the Assad regime, but today we have an Islamist extremist who is now in charge of Syria, as I said, who danced on the streets to celebrate the 9/11 attack, who ruled over Idlib with an Islamist extremist governance, and who has already begun to persecute and kill and arrest religious minorities like Christians in Syria.
I understand.
Why that should be acceptable to anyone is beyond me.
It shouldn't
is
be.
certainly
And I
not in our
understand.
interests.
I'm sorry.
So
Taking them down.
that's the thing. I don't think people realize, like, this is why, and I've had this stance for a long time, where they should hold no secrets from us. Like, there shouldn't be like, this has now been made public. It should all be public, unless it is actual troop movements while we are at war, in a time of war, a declared war. We should be able to look up, see where every dollar goes, exactly everything that's happening. And this is the reason why. So basically, what she just outlined is that the U.S. government, and a lot of it under Barack Obama, has led to the funding of wars and regime changes in different countries. We have basically interfered in the governance of other countries, not to liberate them and give them freedom, but to hand them over to the bad guys that we prefer.
Yeah. It's completely corrupt. And what's terribly corrupt is that here's a woman who's currently active in the military. We talked about this the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still pulling this Russia shit, bro. It's like if she's in the military, now there's a huge problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she's still allowed in the military, and she is even just as a reservist or whatever she is now, and they're letting her in the military knowing that she is a Russian agent, that shows that our military is fucked. So assuming they're right, assuming they're correct, we're fucked. Right? Like we have a fucking Russian agent in the military.
Yeah.
So for them to use that against her, since she's been vetted and is constantly vetted as a soldier, can you explain to me how their argument makes sense? She's an active member of the military. An active member.
If she was actually a Russian asset, like if they had proof she was a Russian, if they could say that and prove that she was a Russian asset, she wouldn't be free. Like she would be in military prison.
She'd be at Gitmo, bro. Let's
Before I close, I want to warn the American people who are watching at home. You may hear lies and smears in this hearing that'll challenge my loyalty to and my love for our country. Those who oppose my nomination imply that I am loyal to something or someone other than God, my own conscience, and the Constitution of the United States. Accusing me of being Trump's puppet, Putin's puppet, Assad's puppet, a guru's puppet, Modi's puppet, not recognizing the absurdity of simultaneously being the puppet of 5 different puppet masters. The same tactic was used against President Trump and failed. The American people elected President Trump with a decisive victory and mandate for change. The fact is, what truly unsettles my political opponents is I refuse to be their puppet.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's fucking go. You know, at the end, the thing I love about all these people who've been put in front of him, Hegseth, Patel, we'll look at some Patel stuff in a little bit, and Tulsi, is they're not apologizing. They're not bowing down. They're going head to head with these motherfuckers. Like, you know what? Let's fucking go. And they're bringing receipts, dude. RFK had a tremendous takedown.
Oh, yeah.
A tremendous takedown. I mean, he just did a fantastic job, and they're not wavering.
Yeah.
They're not wavering on it.
I mean, the wild thing is that why would we? Like, why would they? Like, this should be an open and shut thing by
Tulsi's the easiest one. She's she's pre-vetted. It's like being pre-approved on a credit card. You fill out the paperwork, you get it because you're pre-approved on a credit card, right? Like she is pre-approved because she's already in the military. She's already been approved. I assume we vet our military people, especially since she's actually decently high ranking, if I'm not mistaken. Like, do we let leaders of our military just come in willy-nilly and not check if they're Russian assets or Russian agents? The whole thought of that is absurd. Yeah. It is absolutely absurd. That's crazy. But Tulsi, she held her own. She did a great job. And she's the right person for the job. She just is. All these people are the right picks. There are no, what is it? Pig in the hen house or lion in the hat. I forgot the fucking term.
Dr. Oz was nominated for something, wasn't he? Head of CMS or something like that.
For this one, I think he could have been, but Dr. Oz ain't bad. He's a bit wacky.
He's whack nut.
But that Trump likes some weird people.
Oh yeah,
and that's okay.
Why hasn't he called us? Like, I mean, you know what I mean?
Fox in the hen house. That's it.
Yeah, there you go.
How did I fuck that up?
I don't know, but it's the ADHD, bro.
It's been a long day. But have you seen the Kash Patel stuff?
Not yet. No.
Kash Patel was crushing it. Let me pull this up. Yeah, Kash Patel. I know that Tim and those guys, we even talked about it when I was over there off camera. But Kash Patel is supposedly him. Like his real name is Himothy, from what I hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, let's see Kash Patel.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Patel, do you believe that background checks for firearm purchases are constitutional?
I don't know the in-depths of it, but I think that's what the Supreme Court has said, Senator.
So the word would be yes. Yes. Can you say yes? Are background checks constitutional?
I can say whatever the Constitution and the Supreme Court ruled is the rule of the land.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
That's how you do it. He's like, I'm literally, well, his job is to govern by those things. And that's what cops so frequently forgot during 2020, during COVID, is that no, you're not governed by your boss. You are governed by the Constitution. You take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America. And they seem to forget about that. And instead they were just looking to not lose their pension. So So, I mean, if you're going by religion, if you swear on the Bible, are all those cops going to hell? You were a Catholic. Tell me.
Well, technically, yeah. I mean,
oh man,
but if they're Catholic, all they got to do is repent like a second before they die.
Or if they're Jewish, they don't even believe in hell. So fuck it.
Do you know that was one of my biggest problems with it when I was growing up? Like, I'm thinking like, because like, here's my thing, and I still, this is still the thing that like keeps me away from like, I can get to the whole loving of nature and mysticism and all that shit. Like even an afterlife, I hope that there's an afterlife, right? I really do. But like the whole thing about like where the Catholic Church actually loses me, and no offense to Catholics, this is me and I'm crazy and you don't need to fucking care. But like, so I'm in my heaven, right? I'm on a cruise ship. My favorite band's playing, bucket of beer that doesn't get me drunk, on ice, sitting there. I'm fucking jacked and like in my fucking mid-20s, like fucking ripped like fucking motherfucker, bigger and stronger than I've ever been, but yet leaner and healthier than I've ever been. I'm still bald because I like being bald. But my wife is sitting there with me on her best bikini, sitting on my lap, and we're having a good time and everything like that. But in the Catholics, you're sitting at the table, across from me could be some fucking pedophile that repented on his fucking on his fucking deathbed, right? And that's not working for me. That doesn't work for me. He shouldn't get in there. So
it sounds like they're trying to pull a fast one on God. Like you live like 90 years, like you die at 90, right? You live like 89 years and you're just fucking killing people and raping people and pillaging communities. And then you're just like, I atone.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So, and
forgive
by the
me,
way,
God,
Catholic,
I accept you.
And by the way, Catholics, like, don't get too upset at that. That's me like making fucking jokes and shit like that.
I'm not making a joke. I really want to know if that's the thing. I think you're trying to pull a fast one on God. Like God's like, bro.
Well, it's the same thing. Like it's the same thing as Orthodox Jews. They're not allowed to use electricity on Sunday, but they'll pay somebody to come over and do their cooking and shit like that for them. Like right?
No, that's retarded as shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's the same thing. They're like it's a loophole. Like I'm sure like God didn't intend on you finding the loophole. Like it was the intention of the statement.
Well, the Amish are the same way. Like she had that little. Remember we watched that thing with what's his face with the football player. Anyway, she had the lantern. He's like, y'all Amish think you're slick.
Yeah, that's right.
Marshawn Lynch.
We just live in a very dumb country. Like
it's a very dumb world. Like dumb shit goes on throughout the world.
So have you heard, by the way, that the actual human beach ball, Pritzker from Illinois, he might run for president. Have you heard that?
That'd be fantastic. He gets stomped. No one's going to elect a fat fuck.
Well,
he does. You don't have the optics, and he's hated.
Oops. This is how well he has, he's run the schools in his state. Not a single student can read at grade level in 30 Illinois schools.
So what's
not a single one?
That's about right. Yeah. I know Bryce Legacy, my guy. Bryce played a lot of those teams, and he's like, "Yep, they're all dumb as shit, and they're spending tons of money per student." By the way, going back to like the world being stupid, I want to. If you guys have Netflix still, I didn't cancel it because I don't care about societal issues enough to give up my Netflix. Sorry, we all have our issues. There's a movie called American Primeval, and it is fantastic. So I learned a couple things. I didn't know there was a war. I went to school for a long time, and I am a history buff. I'm learning a lot. So there was a war of Utah where Brigham Young literally took on the federal government and didn't win, but they had to sign a treaty. So I had no idea that there were Mormons that were just fucking shit up. These Mormons were bad as fuck. And the Native Americans were just fucking savages. Fucking savages, raping and pillaging. It's a fucking wild show. I'm like watching it. I watch TV 20 minutes before bed. It's part of my routine. It helps me get sleepy. The blue light doesn't affect me.
But not of that, but like say I watch cooking shows before I go to bed.
Yeah, blue light does. Everybody's like blue light. I'm like, dude, my sleep quality is fucking amazing. Fuck your blue light. I like my blue light. But we were I'm watching this and I'm like, so I'm looking all this shit up. I'm on my phone while I'm watching this. And there was like the Mormon massacre where they just went and fucking pillaged and killed everybody. Mormons are fucking badass. Don't trust them.
They got the magic underwear, man.
And they're fucking Jesus jammies.
Yeah, they got the magic underwear.
Dude, this movie, man, there's motherfucker got scalped. Like it is a gory ass show. It's awesome though. I'm enjoying it. I'm on episode 2. But just a shout, if you're looking for a Netflix, it's called American Primeval. And is that how you pronounce Primeval or is it Primeval?
Primeval. Primeval.
Tomato. Yeah, I had no fucking idea Mormons were that fucking bad. They took on the federal government. Brigham Young was capping fools. It was awesome.
It's like Mitt Romney. You got to watch out for that fucking evil motherfucker.
That motherfucker. Well, I don't think the Mormons want him either. So. Yeah, it was a wild thing. So I think this is my favorite Kash Patel moment.
Oh, good.
When he's like, I know all about the FBI because they tried to fuck me up. He's right.
Senator, this may be one of the scenarios that most uniquely qualifies me to take command at the FBI. Having been the victim of government overreach and a weaponized system of justice and law enforcement, I know what it feels like to have the full weight of the United States government barreling down on you. And as the Biden Inspector General determined, those activities by the FBI and DOJ were wholly improper and not predicated upon law and facts. I will ensure, if confirmed, that no American is subjected to that kind of torment, to that kind of cost, financially and personally. And most importantly, I will make sure that no American is subjected to death threats like I was, and subjected to moving their residences like I was, because of government overreach, because of leaks of information about my personal status. If confirmed as FBI director, Mr. Chairman, you have my commitment that no one in this country will feel that pain.
Senator.
Is Alex Jones's ad? Whoa, Alex, you're fucking blinding us here.
Jesus.
Damn it, Alex. What are you doing? Yeah, he goes on to sell some supplements. I hate people who sell supplements.
Fucking evil ass fucking snake oil.
Hate him.
Hate him.
I go with the Nadolski and his fucking Ozempic.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is not hurting people.
No, it's not hurting people.
It's a magic drug with no side effects.
Yeah, perfectly safe and healthy. Perfectly.
I don't, man. It has been used, like I said. Yes, their argument it's been used for a long time is fantastic. It's true, but not for this application. And I'll look. If you tell me it's only for morbidly obese, I will hold your hand and skip with you and say correct. But the fact of the matter is, I've seen it prescribed to lean people.
Yeah.
Bodybuilders people use that argument against me. I'm like, bodybuilders are using it to get. I'm like, bodybuilders take tren.
Yeah, and we're done talking.
Bodybuilders, look, using a bodybuilder as a reason to take a drug because they take a drug, you do realize that bodybuilders will inject anything in their body. And before you go, well, aren't you a bodybuilder? Sort of. I'm what you call a losing bodybuilder. So I am only on TRT, and Alan will confirm it. It's a very low dose, 150 milligrams a week. That's
Your
not
dose
even
is low to mine.
Yeah, but like I said, I train like a fucking asshole, and
It's crazy.
I eat like a militant fuck. Like today we did 4 sets of hyperextensions, then we did Nordic curls with the GHR machine, glute ham raise.
Yeah,
we did 5x5, then 4x6 heavy Romanian deadlifts, then 10x3 speed deadlifts, and then finish. It was an hour of just pain. And yeah, right now, if I wanted to be gay and bend over, I couldn't.
Oh,
That's it. I can't even bend over. There goes my fucking night. Yeah. So like,
just gonna stay in the night,
levels,
then, right?
So yeah. So the problem. Yeah, I will. I stay in every night. Yeah. My wife can't peg me, I guess.
Who are you, Wes Watson?
Oh no, nobody knows what you're talking about in Twitterverse.
I know, but Wes, you do, and fuck you, bitch.
But you know, the crazy thing is, like, if you say, like, if that's like, so my wife worked in print when she started her career, and everybody, like a lot of people, not everybody, they did a lot of coke. The sales reps. In fact, when I worked at Weeder, we had to let go of 2 guys, sales reps, for being on coke. Like, not for specifically that, but you can't function well when you're constantly strung out on coke, regardless of what you saw on Wolf of Wall Street. And so that's like saying, if my wife goes, hey, you know, what do you do for a living? I'm in print. Oh, so you do a lot of cocaine. No, it's not the same. Like, just because I have the title of IFBB Pro doesn't mean that I'm at that level where look, man, I'm a hypochondriac.
Right.
I am if I didn't want to live long, I would not be in a sauna every day. I would not be in a cold plunge. I would not be fucking doing perfect fucking VO2 max and zone 2 cardio workouts. Like, that shit ain't making me big. Bodybuilders aren't concerned with health. They train to get big. I wouldn't be doing 10x3 deadlifts.
Well,
I wouldn't be doing that.
One of the things that, like, you and I talked about, like, even in 2020, like, when we first started talking again, it's like, you know, there's a difference between, like, how you bodybuild and how everybody else bodybuilds. Like, first of all, you're much more mobile than most other bodybuilders, like, much more mobile. You're able to sprint, you have lateral movement, those sorts of things. Most bodybuilders don't even try that shit because it's extra energy that they have to use. And for a lot of bodybuilders, they're blasting so much gear that they just need to keep feeding the machine. They don't want to expend more calories because the idea is like, the more calories they spend, the more food they have to eat. And most of these guys are maxed out already. Like, I mean, they're ingesting so much food. It's just insane. You know,
I don't measure calories, even though I promote most people should measure calories, but you know, I've done this for a while, so I kind of feel it out. I weigh myself. Right. I'm like, I'll kick it up a little. And the goal is with macro tracking for you guys. I'm sorry to get off topic, but I think a lot of people are interested in this. With macro tracking, the goal is to do it consistently for as long as it takes to not have to do it consistently. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
To where it becomes second nature. You could look at that and be like, that looks like a good serving. And that's if you're trying to maintain. Now, if you're trying to lose weight for a cruise, yeah, okay, start measuring your macros. But your goal should be to live a normal, healthy, functional life, not worry about every morsel of food that goes in your mouth, but know by looking at something and evaluating the composition of it, oh, well, these are leafy greens. I can eat as much as that as I want. Oh, right. Well, that's rice pilaf, which is full of butter as well. People don't really, they order rice pilaf. They don't understand. It's not just rice, which is about 240 calories per cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. Something like that.
It's 240 calories per cup. Rice pilaf is like 700 calories per cup because it's drenched in butter. And that's why it's so fucking good.
It's quite so delicious. Yeah.
Rice pilaf is so fucking good. At Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah, they have the best.
That is, that should give you a heart attack.
One of the things we tell, because Mark, you know, I coach people, for those of you that are new here, I coach people that are trying to lose weight. I teach lifestyle habits to probably morbidly obese people with binge eating disorder, those sorts of things. And very similarly, what we have them do is most of them, if they haven't tracked their calories before, we do have them track their calories, but we have them guess every time. Like, so I'm eating 7 ounces of steak.
Genius.
Yeah, I'm eating 7 ounces of steak and I think it's X amount of calories. And then, so they guess at it and then they check out the tracker. And if they're within 20%, like, we're just like, okay, call it a day. Like, try to remember the number. But, you know, it's really because those those trackers are guesstimates because like no two pieces of chicken are the same. Like
Yeah, because you cook it different amount of time.
yeah. Well, think
Yeah,
about think about chicken thighs. 2 4-ounce chicken thighs that are raw could have completely different hydration, completely different fat content, that sort of thing.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
You want to hear an ADHD moment today?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was going to measure. I wanted to have 8 ounce. We got that grass-fed steak, so I made some ribeyes.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna have 8 ounces of ribeye. So I put it on the scale and I cut the meat. I took it off the scale, and I realized I didn't look at the number on the scale. So after it was done heating up, I put it back on the scale. It was 10 ounces. But my goal was 8. And I'm not saying that as a measuring thing. I'm saying that I literally put the plate on the scale to measure it. I forgot what I was doing. And then I'm like, I wonder how much this is. I'm not going to like not eat it. It's already heated up, you know? And I'm like, I wonder how much. I'm like, oh shit, I overshot that. But I was thinking about something else. So I'm just like, you know, I use the meat scissors. I'm cutting the meat onto the plate. And I'm like, because I don't feel like sitting there cutting my meat while I'm eating it. I ain't got time for that shit. So it was a moment when I was thinking about something that wasn't very important, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to look at the scale.
That's funny. I love cooking. Like I cook almost all of our dinners just because it helps my ADHD. It's like you have multiple things going on all at once that can keep your mind away from the fucking craziness of the fucking day. I love it.
We bulk. We have kids, man. They all eat, you know. So Thomas, he has his state championship on Saturday. He has to make weight for
Thomas.
Yeah, well, he's wrestling a 2-time state champ. So he's very confident. And that's good because if you don't think you could beat him, you definitely can't. Yeah. But you know, after the first round, it should get a little bit easier for him because they're going to make cons. The chance of them winning the first one, they're the 10-time state champs. About 3%, right? Like being realistic, but you know, but I'm there for my kid. You know, I'm happy he made it. It's going to be fun. But yeah, nonetheless, so my wife bulk cooked today, like ground beef, because we have that cow, some ground turkey and some chicken for Thomas, and then some carbs. So we're bulk cookers. She made these carrots. She baked them, put a little honey on it. Oh, so good. That
sounds really good.
Yeah, so we have healthy food options, and we have the but we're bulk cookers because, you know, you have 2 people, we have 4. And when Cammie comes home, like there's 5. So, and that food goes quick. My wife's constantly cooking and doing dishes.
Well, I mean, I can imagine. Shit, that when you had all the people stay at your house when we stayed there was so much fucking food prepared. It was ridiculous, man.
Notice I never did that again.
Well, dude, there was so many of us. I'm with you on that. I would have a hard time with that shit myself. It
was tough. And what else did I had something pulled up here? What is this one? Is this one? Is this the Kash one I already played? I think so. No. So the deportation. So judges are fucking it all up for us, man. Activist judges are sending criminals. So check it out. A Chicago judge is about to set a Venezuelan illegal felon caught in an ICE raid free.
One of the Venezuelan migrants swept up in immigration raids around Chicago this weekend is about to walk out of federal jail any minute and return to his girlfriend and her parents in the suburbs. Some of these cases have been sealed, but the I-team was in federal court as Edward Martinez Cermeño stepped before a judge and pleaded his case for release.
Walking the halls of Chicago's federal court building, Maria and Ruben are still trying to shake off the trauma of Sunday night. Much like these raids across the country, the Venezuelan couple says immigration agents stormed their Schaumburg home. Speaking only in Spanish, Maria told our Michelle Gallardo,
speaking only in Spanish,
they were pointing their guns at me and my husband. They knocked him to the ground. Federal agents carried out Maria's daughter's boyfriend, 24-year-old Edward Martinez Cermeño. Federal prosecutors say Martinez Cermeño crossed the border illegally in western Texas in 2023 and made his way to the Chicago area. That charge is merely a misdemeanor, not a felony. They just left without an explanation. They didn't show us any documents. We were scared. We were all in crisis. Tuesday, his appointed public defender told a judge Martinez Cermeño had served as a police.
I don't want to sound racist. Hold up. But I'm gonna. Schaumburg's expensive as fuck. How can you have a job not speaking English and afford to live in Schaumburg? Schaumburg is not cheap. There's a fucking Lifetime Fitness there.
So
That's how expensive it is.
I'm sick of hearing this fucking it's a misdemeanor bullshit too. It's still that okay, it's a misdemeanor, but guess what? They're still not citizens. So they should fucking go.
I don't care if it's not, I don't care if it's a class 0 misdemeanor. Get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out.
Officer in Venezuela. Cook County court records show Chicago police arrested Edward Martinez Cerminho for a felony retail theft in January 2024, and he failed to appear for court, triggering a warrant for his.
Again, and he committed a crime.
Out.
Yeah.
Arrest. As Martinez Cerminho stood in federal court Tuesday, White House officials were driving home President Trump's message.
If you are an individual, a foreign national who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal.
Martinez Cerminho's police record reflects a non-violent criminal charge, not a conviction. And
how many times do retail thefts turn into violent situations?
I don't know.
Probably more than just if you're walking down the street.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like they're making like it's not violent, and it's just and this is just a misdemeanor, and that was a felony, but that was a non-violent felony. Like, why are we apologizing? Get the fuck out of America. Like, yeah. I mean,
anybody who has a line carved in their eyebrow should be deported.
Even if you're born here, fucking get out.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah, there's no birthright if you do that.
No, hell no. You lose it.
That right there's a red fucking flag.
Yeah, no shit.
Jesus.
Hearing set for April 2026, the judge ordered Martinez Cerminho released immediately.
Immigration Customs Enforcement has the hardest job in law enforcement.
A 15-year veteran of Homeland Security, Jason Hauser last served as chief of staff for ICE during the Biden administration. He says he has concerns about what he's heard and seen in these roundups from his former agency.
When you sort of make it about this quota game, or you make it about, we need to bring as many people into custody, that takes emphasis away from public safety.
How?
Edward Martinez from me.
Fuck that guy. Of course he's a Biden guy. You know, it's like, how? Deporting criminals or deporting people. Look, I don't give a fuck if they're peaceful. They're utilizing our resources. They're not legal. They cut in line. Okay, let's pretend they're perfectly fine. They're great people. They sing in their church choir. They cut in line. They took an opportunity for someone to do it legally, the right way.
I mean, no, it's so wild that we're even there. But I think Cerno, our friend Cernovich, like he stated this pretty well. And this is basically, him saying like the emotional manipulation doesn't work anymore, and I'm more of a softie than most. Didn't want mass deportations during Trump's first term. Hoped we could look the other way, focus only on the major criminals and gangs. Now I don't care. I really don't care at all. Get them the fuck out. Like, that's the problem. Like, it's so tone deaf. Like, they just signed the Lake and Riley Act into law, And here's my thing. Any of you out there, before you come at me and say, oh my God, you're just being inhumane and it's so cruel and this and that. First of all, I don't give a fuck. Fuck your feelings. Fuck their feelings. Fuck everybody's feelings. I'll be cruel as I fucking want. Secondly, and this is no shit, listen to the fucking tape of Lake and Riley before you even fucking speak to me about that shit. And then you get to me, because I'm sorry. If you can't, like, I know they're not all that person. They're not all the person that murdered that woman while trying to rape her. I know they're not all. But the fact that we can't, like, you're asking us not to differentiate, because if we have to do that, then it's just going to make more people in danger. So fuck that shit.
Oh, man. Well, what about the cops?
Oh, God.
Speaking of now they choose to speak up. Of course, it's a female cop. Should we call Izzo on here?
Yeah.
So, Veronica Arnold, Atlanta, they'll give her a promotion. Yeah.
Hola, buenos días. Estoy haciendo este video porque mucha gente.
Thank God there's fucking captions. My Spanish is rusty as shit.
bueno, casi toda la gente me está preguntando que le explique sobre ICE y qué es lo que está pasando con eso. Entonces, lo que les quería decir sobre eso es que nosotros como policía local no estamos reportando ni llamándole a ICE para...
So what she's saying is that they're not reporting illegal immigrants to ICE.
Decirle que nos encontramos con una persona indocumentada o cosas así. Entonces, lo que ICE está haciendo es independientemente de ellos. Nosotros no sabemos a qué personas están buscando, no sabemos dónde van a estar, cuándo van a estar y nada sobre eso. Yo sé que la gente piensa que nosotros los estamos llamando.
We need to ban cops doing fucking TikToks from their car.
No shit. She's
In
speaking
full
for,
uniform.
she's speaking for that police department. I pull the if I was the federal government, I'd pull the funding from that shit so fucking fast.
Oh my God.
Que estamos trabajando con ellos cuando en realidad nosotros no tenemos idea dónde van a estar, cuándo van a estar y todo eso. Entonces, no sé si esto le puede ayudar un poquito a la comunidad. Lo único que nosotros sabemos sobre eso es que ellos están buscando a personas, a criminales violentos, pero no sabemos en qué se basan o si es lo único que están buscando, no sabemos nada sobre eso. Lo único que les puedo decir es que nosotros no estamos trabajando con ellos, o sea, no lo estamos, nosotros lo que hacemos es responder a llamadas de emergencia y...
So basically, I mean, that's her just saying, you know, and they probably don't know, and that's why ICE can't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these cops are literally anti-law. Here's one of them. But why look, what I would do if I were her is I would do that shit from home.
Yeah.
And it's fine for her to say, look, I'm a cop. And here's what's happening, right? Like, we don't know what the fuck's going on. And you know what? If you're an immigrant, I don't know what my fellow officers are going to do, but I'm probably not going to report you, you know, just like they let you off a ticket.
Right.
Not my job. That's ICE, right? I'm just making sure shit doesn't get fucked up locally, but do it in your house. Like you're on duty. You are on taxpayer dollars doing TikToks, just like those bitch ass nurses during COVID. Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. Go protect and serve. It's what we pay you for. And you're asking to be fired, because guess what, man? It's not the Biden regime anymore. They will fucking defund your ass.
Yeah, and they should. I'm sorry, but like, it's so wild. Like, to me, our federal government's main job is to protect our border, provide common defense, and protect our rights. So they're well within the rights to fucking eject anybody that's on. Other countries don't do this, people. Like, look at Poland. Poland has zero illegal immigration. Fucking zero. They are one of the safest countries in the fucking world.
If the dumb Polacks can figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Dubai. People do not illegally go to Dubai, like, because they take crime super seriously, like in Dubai, like super serious. You know, they don't be like, oh, well, go ahead.
Did you see that video of that guy who left a Rolex and a wallet on his car while he went into the store?
Yeah.
And he came out, it was still there.
He's like, and he wasn't worried.
No, he's like, I'm going to come out, it's still going to be here. He just had his phone and he filmed it. He's like, oh, here's my shit. Put his watch back on, put his wallet in his pocket. He was ready to roll. Like, Dubai has done a lot of things, and their taxes are affordable. I mean, goodness. I mean, Trump's floating getting rid of the income tax.
Yeah, I know. He keeps talking about it. I really hope that goes, because that would be amazing for all of us. You know.
Well, it would save the country. It would just. I mean, dude, we talk about this too many times. We work for 6 months out of the year to pay our taxes.
Right. It would be the biggest economic boom ever. It really would. Like, if there's no income tax for corporations and no income tax for the people, every dollar, like the amount of volume that would get pumped into the American system, the American economy would just be insane. Like, it would be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and the government, again, like, you look at revenue generating. That way they can't complain. Cut taxes for everyone. That was like, you just cut it for the millionaires and the billionaires. No, we cut it for everybody, motherfucker. No,
that was a great Bernie. That was a
I've
great
been working
Bernie. I think you have been.
But here's the thing, like if we do it across the, like, why would you complain about a flat tax? 10%.
Right.
Cool. Done. Well, that's not fair. Not fair to who? Well, they should pay more. Why? They're paying the same. Proportionally, they're paying the same. You can't complain. No loopholes. Thing is, no fucking loopholes. Pay this or don't pay this, and you're good. There's no fucking deductions or fucking charitable. Fuck that shit. People will give to charity if we stop robbing them for 6 months of the year of their salary. People pay, I'll give more to, I'll donate 10% of that shit to charity. I don't give a fuck.
No shit. But that's, I mean, it is the shit that they don't want to see happen. And by they, I mean the establishment. Like the people that are established, they don't want to see that kind of change because it gives freedom to the people. It's the same thing as like we played yesterday, how the mainstream media was like telling us, don't do your own research. Leave that to the journalists. It's dangerous for you to do your own research. Like, bitch, shut up. I know how to work a fucking cell phone. I know how to work a smartphone. I know how to work a fucking search engine. And
we got ChatGPT, son.
Yeah. Now everybody can do their own research, bitches. You know, like it's wild. Wild.
It is crazy, but I think is it next week they're confirming or not confirming who they just grilled?
I hope so.
I think Katie said it was like next week or something.
I hope.
Your guess is as good as mine. But yeah, so we have a big weekend ahead. All of us, I hope you guys do too. And I mean, America, we have obviously. So the reason we didn't cover the plane crash, honestly, that's not my area. Like all we could do is say it's sad.
Yeah, very.
But I don't know. I've heard so many different things. I talked to a pilot today, and he was saying how like. So when that plane, he mentioned the model of the plane. I already forgot it. There's an oh fuck zone, like when you're within like 1,000, whatever they measure shit in, that everything on the plane goes fucking crazy if you're about to hit something, right? Like think about it. Like, have you ever been in my Yukon? Actually, you were. My daughter almost killed us.
Yeah.
That the car just starts beeping at you, and so. She drives really well now, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she almost killed all of us.
I was in the back seat and I gripped on the head thing so hard my hands hurt. Like it was. I felt so bad for her too because she was genuinely sorry. Like you could tell she just got nervous.
Yeah,
made a mistake. It was terrifying. Like, it was so fucking terrifying.
The dashboard starts flashing and things start beeping. So apparently in a plane, it's even more intense.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of questions that I don't have answers for. So it would just be what we do know is we do know a little bit of politics because we're Americans and we pay attention. We do know about health, which we talked about a lot today. But there are topics that, man, it's just, we would just be like, the only thing we could say is it's really sad.
It's super sad. It really is. It's not something I wish on anybody. It's horrible, you know?
Yeah, it's super sad for everyone involved. But on that note, I do wish you guys have a phenomenal and blessed weekend and have a good time. And do me a favor, everybody, take some time out, spend some time with your family, go on a walk, do something, play some ping pong. Just do something nice, relax and don't think about the bullshit that's going on in the world for like at least an hour.
Go for a hike, go for a walk, get out in nature if you can. Smell if it's still sub-zero where you're at, like go to the mall and hold hands with your significant other and walk around for a little while and just talk. Put your cell phone away. Don't take your cell phone in or something like that. Like just talk. Have a great weekend, everybody. And by the way, go to ambrosiacollective.com or tigerfitness.com and buy No Morbidity and Alchemy and the Ember for the Holy Trinity Weight Loss Bundle. And this person will tell you how to use it.
The Holy Trinity Bundle isn't just about weight loss. It's about empowering you to find your healthiest, happiest self. Let's talk about what's in the bundle and how it caters specifically to our needs. First, we got Ember, which is not just any fat burner. It's also going to boost your mood, your energy levels, while also suppressing your appetite. And if you're worried about it being too strong, you can split the tablet in half to tailor its impact. Next, we have Alchemy NCT, which turns the carbs that you eat into energy and not fat. Yes, energy, not fat. This is our way of making sure that the meals that you eat contribute positively to your weight loss journey And girls, we all know that we want that. And finally, no morbidity. This one's my favorite because it works while you sleep. It burns fat and controls those nighttime cravings without any stimulants, so you wake up feeling refreshed. Try it out and feel the genuine difference. Here's to new beginnings and real results.